Hey guys, thanks for checking out the channel. Hit the like button if you liked the video. Don't forget to subscribe. And also, remember to hit that bell for notifications for when we drop new videos. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Paranormal Frequencies again.
I don't know, Dave. What are you doing?
I've done that for 5 years now, so it's still there. It's still there. Ah, damn it! All right, we're gonna restart this
again. Let's try that
Let's
again.
restart this again. Ready?
Yeah.
Hey guys, thanks.
Anyways, welcome to Boogeyman Radio, everybody. My name's
Yes.
Charlie. This is Dave. Well, this is Dave. Sorry, this guy over here. Yeah.
You got another David over there?
Yes, I do. Dave,
I don't see him.
I told you to stop messing around. Come on, the show's starting. Jeez.
Come on, bro.
Anyway,
Come on,
he's really shy. He doesn't want to talk to anybody. It's stupid.
kids.
Oh God, it's my nephew. Leave him alone. Anyways,
Matt Damon.
perfect. All right.
I need to get that for like a snippet just to throw it here every now and then.
Damon.
Matt Damon.
Oh, my name is Matt Damon.
So tonight we are going to be talking about some urban legends. Hey, Angel. We do have some really something really cool for you guys tonight as well. It's going to tie into the whole story, the urban legend thing.
Yes.
Going to tie in real nicely, real nice and sweet.
Nice and deep black. What?
Mm-hmm. Get some butter on that biscuit.
No honey, just butter. That's it.
Butter. Honey is sticky.
That's not necessarily a bad thing.
This is turning into the Late Show.
Phantasmorgasm. We're off to a great start, guys. We're off to a wonderful start. You know, we are. Gosh, let's see. What is today? Today is the 12th. We're not even halfway through the month yet, and it has just been fantastic.
Weather has been awesome.
Oh my gosh, yes. I mean, I feel bad for the people out in Oklahoma who's had like 2 days of like tornado warnings, but hey, whatever.
Yeah, we had those.
You guys had some of that too? We didn't, thankfully. We just had monsoon rain for like freaking 4 hours. It was great.
We had like heavy winds that came out of that, going like 60 miles an hour.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah. Surprisingly, there wasn't any damage around here. Here.
That is quite surprising.
But yeah, it was pretty bad. Lasted for about, I guess, an hour and a half.
Oh wow.
2 hours.
Well, I mean, we all needed the rain though. Like, goodness.
Yeah, we definitely did.
But
I'm loving the cooler temperatures.
Oh my gosh, dude! Did you see what the cool down's supposed to look like this coming week? It's so nice, so nice.
Here it's supposed to be 66 on Saturday.
66, nice. I think the lowest I had seen was like
sunny,
or not low, but the highest I had seen was like 62, 63. Like, oh,
no kidding.
Give me a jacket, give me a bonfire. Oh, please.
Well, we'll have a bonfire.
Yes, we will.
But yeah, I'm all ready for hoodie weather.
Me
I'm
too,
all
man.
for it.
It's coming on fast, and I love it. And, I'm not ready for winter, obviously, but hey, that's okay. Let's kill all the bugs. Just kill them straight off, please.
So check this out. This is something I'm working on. I'm gonna stock up inventory as soon as I can find more of these frames. But
Yeah.
check this out.
Oh yeah, your frames,
It's
nice.
a Victorian death photo in there.
Yeah.
I'm getting a bunch of these old metal
Wait.
frames.
Here's the thing: is the baby dead or is she dead?
The baby is
Ah, darn it! I feel like it would have been more of a twist if she was the one
right.
dead.
That'd be weird, but
No,
it's
I think
not.
it would have been perfect. But whatever.
It's not out of the realm of possibilities that the
Right.
mother would be dead because now I'm trying to find that photo. Oh yeah, see, I've got this photo. I'm going to put in a frame where the mother is dead, and then they
Oh,
put
they
the
put
kids
a.
around her.
Oh, that one's creepy. I like it. I
Yeah,
like it a lot.
they put the kids around her and they cover her up with a sheet.
That should be something in a horror movie. Like I watched The Woman in Black 2 the other night. It's okay, wasn't that bad, but
Better than the first.
yes, actually, I do.
Really?
I think it was better than the first. Um,
I mean, it's
we
not hard.
watched. So I was over at my friend's house and we watched. Oh gosh, we watched. Oh, here we go. Insidious #3,
Yes.
which I've wondered why or I didn't wonder, but I remember now why I forgot about that movie. And then
The first one was all right, but then they just carried on with it. And it's
oh, the
like,
first one
why?
and the second one I thought they were good. I liked the first and the second one because the second one helped with that cliffhanger at the end of the first one.
Yeah.
But the third one, they were stretching. They were stretching real hard. I'm very hesitant about watching the last one or the latest one, which is The Last Key or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, it's kind of a meh right now. But
You know what we should do?
yeah,
We should both come up with a top 10 Halloween horror movie list.
I'm going to tell you right now. There's going to be horror movie.
Yeah. One you'll do your top 10, I'll do my top 10.
All right, then that means I'm going to have to watch a lot more horror movies because I don't know a lot of Halloween horror movies.
I mean, it's just
And
be a horror movie. But just any horror movie, but just what you think would be good for Halloween.
That's fair. That's fair. I need to watch Exorcist 2.
And
I watched the trailer on that the other day and I thought it looked pretty good.
And honestly, it doesn't even have to be a horror movie because Young Frankenstein is a good movie to watch around Halloween.
Gosh. Okay, I was gonna say that makes more sense because I have a plethora of movies that aren't horror that I watch for Halloween season. Okay.
Yeah, so
like Young Frankenstein is definitely one of those movies. I love Young Frankenstein.
So we could do like our top 10 Halloween films.
Well, I'm gonna Hocus Pocus is gonna be on there for me and some others, but anyways.
So yeah, that'd be cool. We can do that.
I would love that. We should do that.
Hey, do you have a camera? Or like a camera that shoots video?
Yeah, no, I need to buy one.
Okay. All right.
Why?
So scratch that. Scratch that idea.
I can record on my computer with this.
I mean, you could, but it won't look as good. We could just do it live. It's fine.
Do a studio recording.
Yeah. Or
hey guys, welcome to my top 10. Blah 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 blah.
Hey, you know what? We can do that later this week, and we can release it as a recorded video.
True.
Or we can do it tonight. If you can even think of 10.
Yeah. We just have to quickly jot down our movies. But anyways.
I mean, not like right during the show. We'll do it like after the show.
Oh, I think the people want it. No, I'm kidding. Yeah. We probably should do it after the show. That'd probably be a good idea.
The people. They don't know what they want. That's why we're here.
Rabbit hole search.
That's why they're here.
Yeah, exactly. Angel asked me how the rabbit hole search is going. It's going good. I've kind of met at a standstill, of course. Kind of curious where I need to continue from here. I've been reading and meditating about the certain two people we were talking about, and referring to Angel here, and kind of going from there. And I've asked for answers, but I have yet to receive anything. So, and I haven't really been remembering my dreams at all, so I don't know what to expect from there. So yeah, good times, right?
Here's a psychological tip to help you remember your dreams. Cover up any windows you have in your room and shut your doors.
All of them?
At least the bedroom door.
Okay.
Because psychologically, if you wake up and the first thing you see is your bedroom door is open or you see your window, you'll forget your dreams. Like they
Well,
go
thankfully,
out.
I can't.
And
I don't have any windows in my room, so.
Well, there's that. So just shut your door then.
All right, cool. Can do.
Okay, so let's get into tonight's topic
Yes.
here.
Yes. Urban legends.
Urban legends. Now you were telling me that there's one local to you, right?
Yeah. So growing up, where I lived at, we had a couple. So big two, I would say, urban legends. One of them is a pretty well known. Like it's a well known phenomenon that it happens not very frequently, but it happens around the United States. I feel like quite a bit, and a lot of small towns or around small towns, they have the same sort of phenomena. But
Right.
the other one I want to talk about first, we used to call it Jacoby's house, right?
Kobe.
So yeah, it's so weird. So it actually isn't that far from the other one we're going to talk about. So Jacoby's house is or was they tore it down was this old abandoned house that a lot of teenagers they would hear about and they'd want to go visit just to see if they could survive or whatever. Of course, everybody survived, but that's just the story. So we would go to the house, and the story behind this house is there was a lot of sacrificed animals, satanic symbols all over. Certain people's stories they'd swear up and down. They would hear like what was it? They'd hear moving upstairs, and you couldn't go upstairs because the building was like collapsing in on itself. Like it was a really old building.
I have to ask: was there ever like rumors where a kid back in the 50s or something didn't make it out of the house?
No, there was actually no rumors that somebody actually died in that house.
Okay,
at least that I had heard.
Okay,
the only rumors with it was just satanic sacrifices with animals. There were symbols everywhere. Rituals were done. Like this was a very like hotspot for demons, right?
Okay.
So I had a couple friends who decided they wanted to go do this. Well, I actually was smart and I didn't go do this. So, but the stories that they told me that happened afterwards, they were pretty cool, and I've always remembered them henceforth. So they got there. It was late at night. It was like 1 or 2 in the morning, and they would see all the symbols like all over. A lot of them were painted in red, and they had a flashlight to like shine around stuff. Well, after like 10 minutes of like nothing happening inside the house, they started hearing movement coming from the upstairs floor. Well, the stairs and the upstairs were actually caving in, so there was no way to really get up there. So they would just have to listen to the sounds happen. So they would call out to it, and eventually all the steps would just stop. Nothing would move, and it was just like dead silence. And then eventually, tapping would start happening all around the room that they were in on all of the walls. Like just knocking on all the walls would start happening. Right. So there was probably about 4 or 5 people in this group. They were all in the same area. Nobody ventured off and did their own thing. After the tapping happened, they actually went further into the place and they found like, I think it was like a sacrificed animal or something, but it wasn't fresh. It was like a carcass. So they just assumed that it was a sacrifice. It could have just been an animal that died inside there. We don't know.
Right. Yeah.
Anyways, so eventually after that, they decided to like leave the place, and all of a sudden their flashlight just shut off, just stopped working. Right. So they had really like no light to get out. So they were all holding on to each other to hopefully try to get out. So you could still have some light coming in from the outside through the windows and stuff, so you could barely see. My friend who was in the front of the group, he swore up and down that one of the symbols on the wall actually morphed and came out of the wall. Yeah, that's what I said. He said it moved out of the wall and then went back in. And then a lot of stuff just started happening. You'd hear footsteps upstairs. You'd hear knocking on the walls constantly. They would swear that somebody was like running around them inside the room. Like it just got crazy really fast. They decided to leave. Go ahead.
What would be the purpose of that symbol to just like?
I don't know, dude. I don't know.
Maybe that's what the symbol
portal,
meant.
Maybe
symbol meant warp.
Yeah, maybe. Anyways, this is just what he told me.
Yeah.
And his brother, he was there with him. He swears that he saw the same thing too. So, whatever. So after they had left the place, they parked the car down the street, like farther down the street, not next to the building, because the house was actually on a property that somebody lived like right next to. So they could easily and it was notorious that teenagers would go there. So they were always on the lookout for shit. So then when they were going back to the car, they looked behind them, and they swear they saw this black figure walking down the road coming towards them. And so my friend just like yelled like run, and so they all just start booking it. So
I just got the TikTok thing in my head that run.
yeah. Anyway,
Yeah.
so he looks back and he doesn't see it. So he keeps running, and then like eventually, like almost right before they get to the car, he sees this black figure and it shoots upwards off the road. Kind of like some weird Jeepers Creepers kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Right? So he says it like shoots upwards and then like it just disappears completely. So that was pretty much the end of their story or his story. But I always found it, interesting. To me, that is a urban legend for where I grew up, because a lot of kids around my age and older who like through the years visited that place, they all knew about Jacoby's house, and I would just refused to go there. That just no thanks.
And
No
it's
thanks.
tore down now, right?
Oh yeah, it's been gone since 2010. I want to say 2011. Not too long after that happened with them. What do you know?
I think one of the most popular things for people to associate in these urban legends, like when it comes to haunted places, is like there's always a nun that killed herself, right?
It's some sort of
Like in Gilson, Illinois, where I lived for a good part of my childhood. There was this old schoolhouse. It was like 3 floors, 3 stories. And the story that was always told to us was there was a nun that didn't like children, and one day they were just driving her crazy, and she took her own life by jumping out of the 3rd floor window. Like, I didn't think a nun would even be there at that school.
Right.
I mean, it's an old school. You never know. But that was just like an urban legend. And we, like when I was in Boy Scouts, we would go spend the night in there, like in the gymnasium, which was like on the 3rd floor, which that's a weird place for the gymnasium to be. But we would stay in there, and I remember there. I just can't remember exactly what happened. I remember us like having some kind of experience or thinking we had an experience in there, but it was something with a chalkboard. I don't remember exactly what it was because I ventured off. I was like 7 or 8. Like I ventured off on my own in that building, not too far, but like we'd walk around like checking some stuff out. I'd like to go back in there. I contacted them years ago about getting the history of it and all that. But yeah, as far as I know,
really cool.
Yeah, I'll if I can find a picture of it, I'll send it to you.
All right, please do.
Cool looking building. But
I mean, there's several buildings like where I grew up. It was a bunch of smaller places where it's just like, oh, there's this happened here, but it's just like, yeah,
it's like the Crybaby Bridges.
Yeah,
there's a Crybaby Bridge in almost every frickin' county.
Yep.
Or it's either Crybaby Bridge or Goatman's Bridge.
Something weird.
The Dogman.
Yep.
Another one that's pretty popular, pretty prevalent, especially here in southern Missouri. In the Ozarks, I think there's a Dogman legend.
Yeah. So, speaking
that reminds me.
Oh, go ahead.
I was just going to throw this out there for a topic for another show further down the road. The Ozark Howler.
Okay.
I don't think anybody's really done that.
I've never even heard of it, honestly. So.
Okay.
That's perfect. So the other one I was going to talk to you about that I feel like is prevalent or is around in American culture throughout the years, we have this place called Gravity Hill.
Yes. There's one in Bella Vista, just south of me.
So the story behind this one, there's railroad tracks just down the hill or just down the way from it. Well, here's the thing. Even though it's called Gravity Hill, you're not actually on a hill. It's it's the optical illusion, and
you are on a hill. It's just your slope is downward.
No, it's actually yes, but it looks like you're going up.
Yeah.
Yes. So on the opposite end, there's or behind you, there is railroad tracks or something. I'm trying to remember all the details exactly, but basically what had happened was a car or a bus or something was hit by the train on these railroad tracks.
I'd always heard the bus.
Right. Kids died, whatever, Well, it's said that if you park your car on this road, put it in neutral, and if you want to, like, for extra effect, put some, like, powder or something on the back of your car.
Yeah.
it's said that they will push you up the hill and away from the tracks, right? And it's to keep you from hitting the railroad tracks. Well,
from getting hit, yeah.
It's literally an optical illusion. It looks like you're going like uphill, but it is definitely you going downhill. It's just how it is.
Right.
So
now I remember an old TV show that they did the whole baby powder thing, and I think they went to the one in Texas.
That sounds about right.
And they had like these little tiny handprints in the baby powder on the back of their car.
Yep.
Like the hill is, like you said, it is an optical illusion.
Well, I wouldn't be surprised if, like, okay, with being the paranormal, I wouldn't be surprised if there's places that this actually exists. Like the whole.
There could be just thing. Like one place in America,
yeah, and it's just like balloon.
Yeah,
yeah, exactly.
Everybody's like, we got the same thing that happened.
Yeah, or no way, like just.
Yeah.
But I feel like most of the old people around where I lived just thought it was total BS because it was like, oh, it's just an optical illusion. It's fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, I spent many nights out there. Nothing weird happened. Nothing.
Just, well, that was that the Gravity Hill up by you?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Like I said, there's some all over the place, but the one in Texas, I think, is supposed to be the legit one.
Okay.
That has like the paranormal activity. They're not indifferent with the optical illusion, but they at least have the paranormal activity.
Yeah.
So I mean, there's that. We could probably check that out sometime.
That'd be really neat. That'd be really cool. But there was also one. It's history / urban legend. So I can't remember what disease. I want to say cholera, but I don't think it was cholera. A friend of mine owns a huge plot of land where it used to be a town back in the day, and it is a registered ghost town, where it does. It's a registered goat town, man. Anyways,
that's where the goat man from all over they come.
Exactly. That's what haunts it. Is
that's a meeting.
No,
this year, let's build a bridge.
Right. So this town was wiped out by some sort of disease that came through, and I guess back in the day they would plant some sort of tree or bush.
It's cholera.
Yes. And they would.
I can't think of the name of what tree it is.
I can't either. I really can't. But they would plant this tree, and it would signify, hey, this town was wiped out by cholera. Stay away. Don't be here. Don't be around. So he's told me this tree is basically on a mass burial gravesite of this town, and I would love to visit it one day.
Imagine if they cut that tree down and it's got that one of those trees that had the blood-looking juices in it.
I doubt that would be a thing, but yes.
There's a tree that actually has a red juice that's in it, and it looks like it's bleeding when you cut it. It's fucking freaky. It's cool. But I would get one of those trees and put it in there and be like, yeah, there's a mass burial under there.
Yep.
See?
It's Satan. Demons coming.
That's the kind of tree I want on my grave.
That would be a pretty interesting tree. Don't mess with this guy. He's got a blood tree.
100 years later, they don't even know what tree it is. They're like, oh, this tree grew up to the grave. Let's cut it down. And they go to cut it down and it just bleeds all over.
Yeah, that would be amazing.
Oh, it's a curse. I just unleashed the demons.
You could start an urban legend. And just scare people for ages. But that would be very interesting. Eventually I'll have to tell you another story behind that place too. But that'll be for another topic for another show.
Ghost sex?
No.
Oh.
No.
All right.
Unfortunately. This isn't Ghostbusters, okay?
The Bleeding Tree, a new urban legend. See? Cassie knows what's up.
Yeah, she totally gets it. Epidemic in Missouri was 1832 and 1849. Yeah, that was the time frame that he gave me. Well, he owns this plot of land. Like I said, he owns this plot of land. His brother, I believe, is buried out there too. Not from cholera, but he died from something else, and that's where they put him. But I could only imagine, how. I've never really done outside hauntings besides graveyards and stuff. I guess really at the Miller Mausoleum.
Kind of the same thing.
Yeah. So I'm just curious, how, if that's a mass burial ground and a bunch of people died in this small town on this small plot of land, how crazy active do you think that could be?
That would just depend case by case.
I agree.
Because I wouldn't think that just because they're in a mass burial that they would be active, but just the fact that They died of a disease,
I
and
was gonna say it's the
probably
way they died is what I'm more concerned about.
yeah, and they died in a way that
Because if
either
you
it
think
was
about it, a
sudden,
graveyard is technically a mass burial.
yeah. But just some of those people probably died before they could say something to somebody, or
Yeah.
had some unfinished business. And
Mm-hmm.
I mean, would that be consecrated ground now that it's a burial? I mean, I wonder if they had it blessed by a priest, like when
I
they
don't know. I don't
start up
know.
new cemeteries. That's kind of how they do.
I don't know if he said if he's ever witnessed anything weird out there, but he's never told me if they've been out there at night. Like he does use that land around that area for hunting, but he doesn't really like spend a lot of time out there
Maybe
where
he's
the
just
burial
like
is.
for every kill, like all that blood just drains into the soil, and maybe it just like fuels that energy.
Maybe.
I'm turning into Zach Bagans here.
Yeah, you are. It's a demon. Ah.
It feeds, it drifts down into the roots of the tree and feeds the
Yep.
demon, and the tree bursts into blood. Kind of like the dude's head at the end of the
Well,
12-foot ninja thing.
I think the tree's like decorated too, but I could be wrong. Anyways, yeah, it would be very interesting to check it out.
Yeah.
Which I might have to pursue him with that. I have his number and I need to talk to him and call him sometime. But anyways,
So let's speculate for a second, Charles, because we got a little bit of time here.
we do.
Let's talk about how like some of these urban legends get founded, honestly. Because I think that's when it all boils down to, that's what we basically have to look at is how the story became not just one particular, but any story becomes a story and becomes the legend.
Whale.
Now, huh?
I said whale.
Well,
Whale.
I guess you have a historical event. The game Telephone,
Yeah.
where you pass on story and it goes through generations, and after a while it changes ever so slightly until it becomes something weird.
Yep. Or it
I
comes
guess
truth eventually.
eventually.
Believing a lie, big enough lie becomes truth.
Right.
Just saying.
Let's go, Brandon.
He's really doing a number. Anyways, good job, Brandon.
Yeah. Brandon's getting around.
Very much so. Not doing a dang thing. But anyways, so speaking of this, one of my favorite movies actually has to do with an urban legend coming true.
Candyman?
It is a Halloween movie. No, it is a Halloween movie. It's like good ghouls go bad, or when good ghouls go bad. I don't know. It's a very out there movie. Okay,
I could guess by the title of it.
It's a kids movie. The acting's not the greatest, but it's got Christopher Lloyd in it, so that was a win for me. So basically, along the lines of this jock in school, high school, young school, whatever, he locks this kid inside of like a furnace. So what it was is this kid made this huge sculpture, and he was a very like gothic, creepy kid. Nobody really liked him. They made fun of him, whatever. Well, he was at the school one night working on it like really late, and he actually put it in the furnace because he wanted to be hidden away from everyone. You can already tell how this is going to go.
Yeah.
So basically, what happens? These kids lock the furnace. They don't turn it on because they're not that much of assholes. But they lock the furnace, and then this janitor is like coming along, just like mopping or sweeping a floor. I think he's mopping a floor, and like just the pole leans back just at the right part, and dink, turns it on, right? So this kid gets fried and solidified. Well, burns to death by this incinerator. And ever since then, growing up, this jock was basically just like, oh, it's the curse of blah blah blah. If you take off the curtain that's like keeping this sculpture. If you take off this curtain of the sculpture, it'll make you go blind and you can't see, kind of thing. That was the legend, right? And if you do this, this kid will come back and haunt you for however long. Well, eventually, somehow, kid does come back to life, and so do a bunch of zombies that were previously dead. So it's a very interesting, like weird fantasy Halloween movie. Basically, what happens, it comes out to be that this kid made a sculpture of their biggest hero, and it was the main character's grandfather who was dead but has now come back to life. Like it's a whole thing. So, urban legend.
Okay.
It was this kid lied and spread false truth about people being like blinded, and it was an urban legend. So there's the cake.
Rumors.
There's the bit. Exactly.
Rumors is what he was getting at.
Yeah. It was a whole elaborate thing that I probably didn't need to
just to say
about.
Rumors. And also fear. You know, like if you think about like the vampire thing in America, you know, well, even in Europe and early America, when tuberculosis was hitting people, like the people that died from tuberculosis, and they dug up their graves, and they still had blood in their lungs and all that stuff. Yeah, they stabbed them through the hearts,
or built cages over their graves so they couldn't get out. Yeah,
it's like the fear of vampires became the urban legend behind some of these people. Like the one girl that supposedly came out of her grave and that was a vampire. I'll have to pull that up some other time.
Well, Hocus Pocus was based off an urban legend,
right?
In that town or whatever. That was great.
Real quick, for those that are watching, you don't have to do it now, but if you want to go back after the show and type it in, tell us about an urban legend that's around where you live.
I like that.
I'd like to read some of those. If your hometown's got one, or you know, the town in the county has one or something. I mean, let us know. I'd be really interested in reading it. We do have something special for you guys tonight. But Charles, was that everything that you had, or did you
I've got a list of a couple more, but we can read those after the special thing.
Okay. We said we had something special for you guys, and I am happy to show this to you. We shot a video for you guys.
Not me, just him.
If you remember, if any of you followed Paranormal Frequencies, you remember John's campfire stories. Well, John's back with some more scary stories.
Ooh.
Good evening, everyone. Tonight's story is The Hatchet Man. There were warnings all over the campus about the Hatchet Man. He supposedly abused and killed a woman in Bloomington. All the girls were warned to walk in pairs and stay in brightly lit areas as they go out at night. The sophomore and her roommate were staying in an empty dorm room over Thanksgiving break. Since both their families were out of the country, they grew very bored as day followed by day and night followed by night. Tired of staying inside every night for fear of the Hatchet Man, her roommate suggested they go to dinner at the local bar, and the sophomore agreed. The two women had lingered longer than anticipated, and almost midnight, when the sophomore, more than a little drunk, decided to walk back to her dorm room. Her roommate was busy flirting with the bartender, so she headed into the dark, silent streets alone. The sophomore had forgotten all about the Hatchet Man warnings. It wasn't until she took a shortcut through a dark, creepy alley that she remembered that there was a desperate murderer on the loose. The sophomore shivered, feeling suddenly sober and even much more alone. She felt hostile eyes were peering at her out of every menacing shadow and darkening doorway. She quickened her pace. With the heavy breathing, her heart was pounding. She could hear footsteps behind her and hard breathing. Were those the footsteps and the hard breathing of the Hatchet Man? The sophomore broke into a run, her heart pounding fiercely, sure that it was someone following her. She darted onto the college campus. zigzagging through the building and flinging herself panting into the dorm. She pounded up the flights of stairs, down the hallway, and slammed into her room. It was only then, leaning against the door, with her heart pounding and racing, that she started to feel very foolish. There was no sound from the hallway, no footsteps, no heavy breathing, no hatchet breaking through the doorway. She had been a fool. The sophomore staggered into her bedroom to wash up for the night. Having the door locked behind her, she kept glaring into the mirror to make sure that everything was secure. The scene in the mirror was horrifying, and there was no sound in the empty dorm room. Everything was just fine, she told herself. The sophomore curled up in bed with a reading lamp on. She was determined to wait up for a roommate, but the combination of heavy drinking and her early fright sent her to a deep, deep sleep almost at once. She did not even awaken until the sun was pouring through the window early that next morning. She woke up with one hell of a hangover and rolled over trying not to be sick in bed. She realized that her roommate wasn't in her bed at all. In fact, she hadn't even slept in it. She rolled to her feet, heart pounding with dread. Maybe her roommate had spent the night in the lobby. Her roommate had done that before when they were out partying until the wee hours of the morning, saying it was too much trouble to climb the flight of stairs to the room. With trembling hands, the sophomore unlocked the door and wrenched it open in search of her roommate. Faintly metallic scent of blood smashed into her nostrils as the door swung open of the third floor hallway. She screamed, "Ah!" in terror, leaping backwards away from the partially decapitated body of her roommate, which lay dead at her feet. The nails on her outstretched hands were torn and splintered where she had scratched desperately at the wooden door. The black shadow lay across the roommate's body. She looked up in a daze. Her gaze followed the black shadow to its source. Embedded in the window frame near the entrance of the staircase was blood-stained hatchet outlined in the light with the gleaming rising sun. The end. And I hope you've enjoyed that story for the night, and thank you for watching.
All right. So normally we always ask if the story is true or false. What do you guys think? Do you think this is a true story or is it an urban legend? Charles?
Urban
Your
legend.
thoughts? Urban legend? I'm going to give it a minute for people to respond if y'all want to respond, because I'm sure we're on a delay.
I'm sure we are too. Yeah. That was excellent. I miss hearing John's readings.
So we've been damn it, Charles.
You're welcome.
So we're gonna probably do that like once a month.
Add it to an episode somewhere.
Yeah. So we got a false and a true, and
True.
you said false.
Please be false, and I said false. Yep.
That story is actually true.
Ah, good job, Josh. Good job. Nice. Nice.
That is a true story. But it's stories like that lead to urban legends about, say, the Hatchet Man.
Yep.
You know, people like ICP, they hear about that and they make it their logo.
Yep.
The little Hatchet Man. Yeah, so people really enjoyed John's readings and stuff. I mean, granted, his pronunciation and reading skills aren't like superior, but he does have enthusiasm behind it sometimes, and he knows sometimes when a good pause is effective. So
dramatic pause. Can't help it. I like drama too much.
I will probably be uploading another one of his readings here soon.
Oh, good.
To the channel, just for if anybody wants to see it, or we just might play it during an episode.
Yeah,
I don't know.
So I'll go ahead and talk about a few more urban legends. We can talk about them as we go. So the first.
Before you start,
I'm
just gonna throw this out there. My daughter's awake, so I'm like.
Oh, the stuff in the background. Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, that's my.
Yeah, that was good timing, by the way.
I know, right? She woke
really
up in the middle of that, so I can go do my thing and
that was good timing. All right, so this first one I come across, it's called A Mark Twain Book Transcribed via Ouija Board.
Huh?
Yeah. All right, so in St. Louis in 1916, a group of women used a Ouija board to contact dead relatives. Imagine their surprise when instead they allegedly came into contact with the spirit of the deceased American author Mark Twain. When Twain said he had another story to tell, freelance writer Emily Grant Hutchings, an attendee at the seance, took it upon herself to write them. With the help of a medium, she transcribed Twain's supposed next novel, letter by letter or via Ouija board. The published novel, called Jap Heron, it's just what it says, Japherron, was largely denounced as terrible. Twain's daughter and publisher sued Hutchings on copyright claims, forcing her publisher to end publications and sending Hutchings into obscurity. To this day, no one knows whether this was some sort of sincere spiritual attempt or an outright scam.
Scam!
I'm going to say scam, because that just
sounds
dumb.
Leave the spirit board alone! Scam!
Hey, exactly. Like, don't be messing with that stuff. Okay, to me, if you're going to have a seance, wouldn't you have a medium, like an actual medium that doesn't need a spirit board to contact the dead?
Well, seance just people getting together to contact the dead. I mean, it could have been like a bunch of their friends getting together and like, hey, let's do this. It'll be fun.
I'm just saying, if I'm going to contact the dead, like full on contact the dead, not just with my recorder saying, hey, is there anybody here? Like, if I'm trying to reach out to somebody specific, I'm going to do that with a medium, not with a Ouija board. Personally,
ooh, maybe that's what I should put in those frames. Is like seance photos where they're like got the ectoplasm and stuff coming out of their face.
Yeah, that would be really good. All right, so the next one, never heard of this one, but hey, we're still gonna roll with it. It's titled "The Voodoo Witch Who Was Chopped to Pieces." Interesting. Allegedly a freed slave of Caribbean descent, Molly Crenshaw supposedly lived in St. Charles and practiced voodoo. For a time, the town came to Crenshaw for her charms and spells. But after severe weather ruined the year's harvest, the town blamed Crenshaw, saying she used her magic to bring about misfortune. An angry mob stormed to her house, causing Crenshaw to curse many in attendance. The gatherers lynched the alleged witch and prevent her body from rising, cut her into different pieces, and buried them apart from each other. Now they say anyone who finds her true grave will meet an untimely end. In one tale, two high school football players who went in search of Crenshaw's grave, authorities found their bodies impaled upon the graveyard's fence. Interesting. Today, doubts remain about the authenticity of Crenshaw tale, though she definitely existed. She likely wasn't Haitian or Jamaican, and the negative stories surrounding her likely stemmed from her spinster status in town.
Interesting.
Makes sense, right? Yeah. So, on the one hand, you got this crazy lady who, but why are they blaming her for the harvest? That doesn't correlate whatsoever.
Well, maybe they just didn't like her. You know, maybe, they were like finding any excuse they could to assault her.
She's a witch. Well, how can you tell she's a witch? She looks like one. There's ways of telling if she's a witch.
Does she float like a duck?
And therefore, if she weighs the same as a duck, then she's made of wood. And therefore, a witch. Anyways, I love that movie.
I'm so glad you caught my reference.
I was going. That's why. Anyways, so the next story, the unsettling residents of Upper Blackwell Road. Though only 3.6 miles long, Upper Blackwell Road nonetheless exudes an evil quality detectable by those who traverse it. Due to its negative energy, the roads are also allegedly attracted, like the likes of Satanists who apparently run a restaurant along it. That's different.
Really? We have our own restaurant, I mean.
Yeah, but they're hardly the spookiest residents of the road. Folklore says the old iron bridge on the road called Black Tram Bridge used to be the site of many hangings. At times, drumming can be heard coming from beneath the structure as well, something many attribute the road lying on the Native American land. If you stop in your car on the bridge and flash your lights 3 times, allegedly a ghost car will appear and chase you away. As you travel down the road, watch out for the 1950s ghost couple trying to flag down the car. Interesting.
You think that restaurant serves deviled eggs?
Either deviled eggs or sacrificed ham. One of the two. And how do you know if it's actually ham?
Because you
tastes like chicken. What?
You had nothing, did you?
Nope, I had nothing. Had absolutely. So that's why I was like, just say sacrificed ham. It'll be fine.
You were like, just damn it.
Well, the deviled eggs is too easy. Exactly. Deviled eggs is just too easy.
I know. That's why I said it.
Anyway, the next story, Dave, you should definitely know. Momo. That's an urban legend.
I guess. Yeah.
It's a cryptid urban legend. For those that don't know, though, I'll go ahead and talk about it. In the summer of 1972, the city of Louisiana experienced a number of strange occurrences centered around a monster they called Momo, or Missouri Monster. According to the various sightings, Momo looked humanoid in stature, but stood at nearly 7 feet tall and covered with black hair. Mm-hmm. It first appeared to 2 young boys and their dog, who made note of its vile smell and the dead dog it carried with it. Oh, that's horrible. From the day on, please tell me it's not the same dog that the boys had. That'd be horrible. Traumatizing
just
for those
the dog.
Yeah, well, dog's dead. Better give it to Momo to appease
I got food.
Right. From that day onward, other reported sightings occurred more and more frequently. The townspeople claimed to hear growls and screams late in the night. Momo became so famous, the people from out of Louisiana state began descending upon Louisiana. As a result, authorities organized a full-scale manhunt for Momo. During their searches, they came across deep handprints and 3-toed footprints pressed with great strength into the ground. They also continued to detect the same stench as before, which sent the town's dogs into uproar when they smelled it. The final trace of the creature ever found was a collection of tracks located in a resident's backyard. The tracks appeared 20 away from all other standing objects, ending as mysterious as they began, suggesting that the creature appeared and vanished from the same spot.
You know they debunked that, right?
I don't know.
They found out what that was. They found out what it was. It was actually Cher.
Oh no, they didn't debunk it. That's horrible. Just so horrible. We talked about him at the Weston, Missouri. Yeah, I didn't really know much about Momo. Like I still don't really. So, with an urban legend where I live, these legends are cool. Good topic. Thanks, man. Yeah, Cassie, so it's Weston, Missouri. I'm gonna have to go to Weston and see what they say up there about Momo. Anyways, so the next one I want to talk about is called Evil Within the Equidome. Or it's Equidome. I don't know. It's Equadome. Equidome. After being shut down in 1946, the Equidome water treatment plant stood vacant for over 50 years before its demolition in 2000. During this time, it became a rumored meeting place for a horrifying satanic cult. According to the legend, the cult met on weekends and partook in animal sacrifice and dark rituals. Numerous deaths are tied to the place, as well as crimes ranging from sexual assaults to a sniper hiding in the abandoned water tower and shooting a pastor's wife as she drove by. Sounds like a hit to me. Police would often find blood-stained candles and drawn pentagrams within the building.
Were the candles just red?
Maybe. They could have just been red.
But if they tore it down...
That sucks.
Well, what I'm thinking, they said that... My little one's hollering at me.
She's saying, Dad, look!
Mm-hmm. That's what she's doing. She's watching
a family
Peppa Pig.
Show, everybody. It's fine.
She's watching Peppa Pig.
Ah, that's why.
Yeah. So what I was thinking was, like, if they tore down the building and then the Satanists were going there after that, what building were they doing that in?
Did it say that?
That's what I thought it said.
No, it said it's stood demolition in 2000. During this time, like that before it was demolitioned.
Okay. That would make more sense.
I was like, I don't think they could do it while it was demolition, Dave.
Like it was demolished and they went to the foundation and did it?
Right. So the next one I'm going to talk about, which I've heard of it like here and there, but I've never done research and looked into it. It's called Zombie Road.
I was actually about to talk about this one.
Oh, really?
I was going to suggest this one as a show topic because...
Okay, then I'll skip it.
This is a pretty deep one.
Then I'll skip it.
Yeah.
I'll talk about the Devil's Chair in Kirkland real quick.
Okay.
So in Highland Park Cemetery in Kirksville, Missouri, sits the Devil's Chair, also called the Bear Chair. The chair reportedly possesses a terrifying power. If you sit in it, an undead hand will emerge from the grave and carry you down to hell. As Highland Park Cemetery is also the resting place for Harry Laughlin, the U.S. father of eugenics and one of Hitler's biggest influences. That's oddly specific and has nothing to do with... Anyways,
right?
It makes sense the area is known about hellfire. But here's the thing. Why... Did someone actually get dragged to hell? Or... Because they don't talk about it. They just like, oh yeah, you'll be dragged to hell.
Anyway, we got this guy buried over here.
Who Hitler like... looked up to, like, has nothing to do with. Anyways,
you imagine that tour. So as you'll come over to this section, we have this chair where if you sit in the chair, a hand will come up and take you to hell. If you look right over here, we have this guy buried. Like, wait, what? What about this chair, Dragon? What? You know?
So,
hi.
Another urban legend that you are very familiar with, my friend, that I'm not going to talk about, but I'm just going to mention briefly. The Spook Lights.
I'll be right back.
Spook Lights is a very big urban legend in Missouri, down by Joplin. A lot of people should be very familiar with it. It's a pretty well-known thing. But another one I'm going to talk about here real quick, I've never heard of, but it's called the Bubblehead Family. According to the legend, there lives somewhere in the woods a whole family of people with deformed large heads in North County. Starting to sound some like Wrong Turn or The Hills Have Eyes, like, some like backwoods hillbilly people who, like, what is it? just inbred with each other and just horrible radiation and whatever crazy stuff. Anyways, some say they took experimental drugs which made their heads swell to the size of large pumpkins. Some higher power then bought them off and hid them away in the woods on an isolated road south of Missouri River. Others say the bubbleheads are an old St. Louis family plagued with deformity after generations of inbreeding, who attack trespassers in fierce rage. As if they weren't terrifying enough, other legends of hookmen, the hash-slinging slasher, specters with massive heads who prowl through woods at night. So to me, I feel like the whole mutated, bubble-headed, crazy people is a story that can be found in a lot of different states. Not
I guess.
In Missouri.
It'll be mostly like Appalachia.
Yeah, see, there you go.
I would think. There's a lot of stories of inbreeding. You look at Wrong Turn. That movie.
I literally said that as an example. I started to read the subject. I was like, oh, this is starting to look like Wrong Turn or The Hills Have Eyes kind of thing.
I heard you say The Hills Have Eyes. I was tending.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
But what I was going to talk about for a minute, but we didn't get to because you had to leave, the spook light.
Yeah.
That's a good urban legend.
It is and it isn't.
What do you mean?
Because it's there.
Because it's real?
Yeah.
Physical proof.
I have video, photo, and thermal imaging of it.
It's still a legend that people would tell.
It's a story, not a legend. Legends aren't true.
Are you sure?
For the most part.
I thought legends were stories, Dave.
It's like the Bible.
Hold on. Let's look up what is the definition of a legend. What is a legend? What is a legend?
This is a legend. You don't even need it.
A unverified story handed down from earlier times, especially one popularly believed to be historical. Spooklight.
Unverified.
Well, it's still unverified. We don't know what's
I've
causing
verified
the lights.
I verified that it's there.
What's causing the lights, Dave?
Aliens.
Exactly. We don't know what is causing the lights.
Aliens and Bigfoot.
Did you talk to him?
Did you watch my movie?
Speaking of that, no, hold on. I got.
Did you watch my movie?
I got to say this real quick. I saw an article earlier today, and it was saying how the actress, I can't even think of her name, but some actress was saying that we need to stop calling extraterrestrials aliens because it's offensive to them. What?
Oh my God.
What? I was like, have you spoken to these aliens? Do you know what these extraterrestrials, how they feel about it? Are you an extraterrestrial?
Yeah, she probably is. That's how she knows. It's offensive. I cry out of my butthole.
That could be an urban legend.
Is it? Eat some Taco Bell and tell me how much of a legend that is.
I didn't think about that.
Legendary.
Nope. But yeah, no, tonight's been a good show. Is there anything else you want to talk about?
Well, I was going to go into the Slender Man, but I guess we could save that for another show.
No, go for it. You got a few minutes. Or we can save it for a different show.
We'll just save it for a different show.
Just tease people like that.
I just liked your reaction when you saw what time it was. Like, you got
a few minutes.
Yeah, a few minutes.
I'm reading a book, okay? Oh, I'm looking at a book.
He's reading.
Didn't know I could do that, did you?
I'm reading the photos.
I was hoping I could find certain legends in my Charles Fort book here, but by the way, it's not my book. Even though it's my name, it's not my book. Just for those lovely people that don't know. The
Ectoplasm show came back. Kupsik and Herd came back from their hiatus.
I'm so excited to see that, man.
And Kupsik was talking about what kind of got him into the paranormal, and he was like,
"Really?
I heard a story from Charles Fort, and first thing popped in my head was you. I'm like, really? Charles got him into the paranormal? That's fucking weird.
No, there's no way. Kupsik's probably been in the paranormal longer
than I've been alive. That's what I was thinking. I was like, I could have sworn Kupsik has been doing this for a while. Longer.
Okay, so do you know how old Kupsik is?
Yeah, he's my age.
Really? That's it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Never mind. I thought he was older.
Nope.
Cool. All right. Well, awesome. His experience and things just says he's older, but cool.
Or just his face. He looks older.
Well, I wasn't going to say that and be mean.
I'll be honest.
Good job, Dave. You heard it Koopsick, you heard from him.
You look older. You look older than what Charles thinks you are.
Sure, we'll go with that. Anyways, I did think he was older though. I thought he was older, so he might have like, if I would have gotten him into the paranormal, I would have been like a baby, like, or not even be alive.
No, I actually thought Koopsick was older too. I figured he was like early 40s or something.
Yeah,
he's the same age as me.
Huh. Well, fantastic. Well, either way, I'm really excited for him to bring back Ectoplasm because it's a great show. They always have great topics.
Oh, I love it.
If you guys get the chance and you're on TikTok, I definitely recommend you go follow his channel. He's got a really cool like clip on there of a little doll falling off a headstone, which was really neat. But
it doesn't look like it doesn't fall off. It looks like it's actually pulled off.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's what I should have said. Is it looks like the doll is being like, like, you know, but it was really cool. I saw it and I was like, okay, there's no way.
And Koopsick is not
behind it and like around, like.
Yeah, Koopsick is. I will verify this. Koopsick is not somebody that will fake evidence.
No, he's a very authentic person.
Absolutely.
And that's high respect.
Yeah, I've investigated with him several times. I know him personally, so like the guy's not going to do stuff like fake crap.
I'd love to pick his brain about topics and certain things. But
maybe we just have him on as a. What? Maybe we can have him on as a guest host.
Oh, that'd be fun.
You know, just
if he's not, he doesn't have a busy schedule.
No, not anymore.
We've had Josh on here. We might as well get Koopsick too.
No, I mean, his daughter went off to college, so.
Oh, that's fair.
And plus, even though he's like the boss at his work, he's always going on road trips.
Maybe that's why I think he's older. He's got an old like a daughter in college already, and you have a baby. Like you don't have a older child,
right? Because I'm young at heart.
Yeah, that makes sense. Me too. It's fine. I completely understand.
Oh yeah.
There's so many people my age that have kids already. I'm just like, what am I? What am I doing with my life? I'm like, I'm just over here like, just enjoying my life, living my best life.
Okay, so I just got a message. You guys are getting breaking news. It shows one person still in here. You are getting breaking news right here.
Okay.
The way it's looking, we're gonna have Garnett for Halloween.
Yes.
Oh boy! You know what that means?
I better bring my big boy pants and several pairs of underwear.
We will be doing a Sunday show from Garnett on Halloween. And investigation. Yeah. Asked Rob if anybody had Garnett booked for the 31st Halloween. He said nope.
That's so surprising.
I know.
That is very, very surprising.
Like I just told him I want it.
I'm in. Give me the place.
Like, give me the goddamn thing. Yeah, give me the keys. I know where they're at.
Batman. Anyways, yeah, that would be amazing. Like, okay. Okay, so it's just gonna be you and me then, right?
Yep.
Whew, man. Old school investigating. It's gonna be great.
Oh, you know what's gonna happen? Some crazy shit.
I swear, if you pull,
I'm not gonna scare you.
I was like, I want this to. It's my first time there.
I know. Please, I want it to be authentic.
Yes, I want it to be authentic. Please, like anytime I go there, you can scare the bejesus out of me. I don't care.
I've never at anybody at Garnett. I've never dicked with anybody by faking evidence or anything like that. Never do.
Okay.
The only way I scare people is I experiment with them.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So, like the last time I was there when I had the event, I did this thing where I put people in a chair in a doorway facing a dark room with the dark room behind them. No safety nets.
I'm going to have to hype myself up for that. I'm going to have to hype myself up. I'm excited.
And they did have experiences when they did that. They had this, all of them had, I did this separately with 4 different women, and 3 of them had the shadow come at them.
Yep.
Pretty excited now.
I'm pretty pumped right now. Yeah, I'm jazzed. I'm jazzed. I might have to find me. Well, actually, no. I do have some cameras, but they're not what you'd think.
Are you wanting like to put cameras all over the house?
No. I'm just
or just something to film with.
Yeah, just something to film with. Just for the documentation.
Hey, you know what you should do at some point? Just get you a GoPro.
I
know they're expensive and everything, but like just break down and do it. They're fucking awesome.
Well, I've got an old like the tape or the camera that has cassettes like this,
Oh yeah.
Small cassettes, and it's got night vision. So I'm probably gonna
mini DVs. Yeah, use it.
Yeah, high 8s I think is what they're. Yeah,
use it.
I'm freaking pumped. I'm gonna have to make sure it's charged and ready to go. And I used to have an actual like digital camera, but I don't know what happened to it. I need to just break down and go get a flash camera and an actual like camera.
Yeah.
Recording video camera.
Get you a camera with night vision.
Well, yeah, that's a must. I would never buy just a regular
pawn shops, bro. Good places to get them.
And then also employ John for lights.
Yep. But so that's all set up. Well, pretty much set up for Garnett on Halloween.
Well,
this is
I go to the Halloween party, anyways.
And this is the first time I've ever investigated on Halloween, so
this is going to be very interesting.
Yeah,
maybe.
I'm pretty damn interested in this. This has got my curiosity up now.
We could have some good experiments with this for Halloween.
Yeah, I'll look into some, break some out. But we're gonna do some investigating on this channel live, guys.
Yes.
Boogeyman Radio.
The same week, earlier on that week.
Huh?
We're gonna do some investigating earlier on that week.
Oh yeah, Monday and Tuesday.
Yep.
Or well, probably just Monday, depending on. I haven't heard about those tickets yet, so
that's okay. I mean, either way.
So yeah, 25th and 26th, guys, we're going to be at the Crescent Hotel in Eureka Springs, and we'll be investigating there.
We'll also just film just film and then throw it up.
Yeah, we could probably do that, but we'll do some live video, like the radio show. We'll hopefully be talking to some guests about the history of the Crescent and then the paranormal that goes on there. We'll probably that's something we can do. We just do a vlog kind of thing, a video, put it together, and then throw it up on the channel. And then on Halloween, that following Sunday, we're in Garnett.
So we're gonna have two investigations. We're gonna have, well, you and I, at least 3 investigations. We're gonna have the Crescent Hotel, the graveyard where you got your start.
Yeah.
And then
we'll probably do the graveyard Sunday night when you get down here.
That was over the graveyard, Crescent, Halloween. Yeah. Bet. I'm excited. I'm so pumped.
It's going to be a busy week.
It's going to be a very busy week. I'm going to have to clear up space on my recorder and make sure I got plenty of batteries.
So when do you have to go back to work?
The 2nd of November.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
beautiful.
Yeah. Guess what I said. But the 1st, I'm going to try to hang out with a friend of mine.
Right.
So.
Oh.
Yeah. Anyway, that's a work in the progress.
Yeah, we'll figure the rest of this stuff out later on. But I'm excited. I'm excited for the future of this show, guys. You need to share this channel.
Yes,
we are at what 125.
125. That's awesome.
That's good.
I think it's awesome.
But we could be better. We
could be a lot better. Like we're nowhere near what your reaction show is. But I'm just saying, as far as just 2 dudes talking and having guests every now and then and talking about great subjects,
right?
I love this. This is great. I'm having a ball.
I want to see this channel grow.
I do too.
So yeah, we're calling on you guys. Help us grow. Share the channel. If you have Twitter, that's probably going to be the best place to share it.
Yep.
Facebook's probably going to minimize who sees it, but tell your friends about this channel. We want to see our subscribers grow. If we can get 200 subscribers, we'll set up something awesome, guys. Also be sure to hit the like button on this video, and like I said earlier, if you have a urban legend story, put it down in the comment section. Tell us something about your hometown, an urban legend. We want to read them. We like reading that stuff.
Yes.
We like to hear from you guys. So, I think that's going to do it for tonight. You have anything you want to add there, Charles?
Man. Nope. I'm good to go.
All right. So you guys had extra special stuff. We had the new video from John.
Yep.
And then the breaking news about Garnett. Pew
It's
pew.
been a special show. Too bad more people weren't here. Too bad you missed it.
Silly.
It's okay. They'll see it. They'll see when the video goes up. It's fine.
Yeah, as long as they go through the whole thing.
Yep.
But all right, guys, you all have a good night, and we'll see you. Well, we won't really see you next week. Next week's show is going to be interesting. What we're going to be doing next week, I guess I better tell everybody. I'll tell the one person that's watching now. So next week we will have a pre-recorded show thing. It's going to be a radio broadcast, much like the War of the Worlds, except this came out in the 1970s, and it was a zombie apocalypse. It's pretty interesting to listen to. It's really cool. So hopefully you guys will check that out. If not, it's fine. We get it. That gives us a week of planning. And yeah, that's it, guys. Yep. We'll see you next week.
Bye.